So I thought I could use leverage to grow my Bitcoin faster, but that all changed in 1 week. And in this video, I'm gonna tell you what I learned, that what I would do differently, and what I would do now, as far as that mistake I made. So leveraging, I told you about it in my last video, so I'm not gonna go through the whole thing. But basically, I bought a bunch of Bitcoin and I used it as collateral to borrow against it. And as Bitcoin crashed and as Bitcoin went down, the company that I leveraged my Bitcoin with on Coinbase, it's called Morpho. They sold all my Bitcoin, and I was left with about $5,000 of like $60,000 invested into Bitcoin. All right, now what I would do differently, and make sure to subscribe if any of this resonates with you, but we're just gonna go real raw and talk about my experience, and that is dollar cost averaging, DCA. I'm pretty sure you guys have heard it, but now I want to talk about it and have you experience it through my voice and through my mistakes, so I can be a cautionary tale of why dollar cost averaging is the best way to do it. So, and I'm not advising against using leverage, but if you're gonna be stupid, I'm just gonna go ahead and say a fool, or like me, thinking that you're too smart or too you can outwit the market, dollar cost averaging is your best bet. Dollar cost averaging is setting a certain amount of money a week, a day, a month towards your investment. So what I was doing is I was putting in basically all of my money into Bitcoin, putting all my eggs into one basket, and I was hoping that Bitcoin would go up like this. But nothing goes up like this. Everything goes up in a wave. Even if it goes up, Bitcoin went up like this, and it went down and it go up like that. So what I would do now, and what I should have been doing then, is just dollar cost averaging. I should have been setting aside like $100 to $500 a week, and invest like that money per month into Bitcoin. And if I was gonna leverage against it, it should have been an amount that I could handle. The company is called Morpho, and they allow you to leverage or borrow like up to like 86 or like 77% of your Bitcoin. And once it hits that 86% mark, that is hitting that LTV, it's a loan to value ratio. So say if you have $10,000 that you put in as collateral and you borrow $7,000, once it hits 7,700, it'll go ahead and start selling your Bitcoin or your stock or whatever it may be. So just to avoid all of that situation, it's best just a dollar cost average. And why dollar cost averaging is better over long term anyways is because, one, you don't risk the margin call. You don't risk Bitcoin crashing or Tesla or whatever the stock is crashing and the company going ahead and selling your asset. So when you dollar cost average, over time, you're pretty much buying the dip and you're buying the high. You're buying the top and you're buying the low. So over time, it averages out into you buying pretty much the median of the middle. And it's better to have time in the market than try to time the market. I've heard this saying a million times, you guys probably have too. It's better to have time in the market than time the market, because as you have time in the market, your asset grows in value and the money that you have in there compounds. So as you're making more money, the money makes more money for you. So there's no reason, there is a reason. You can use leverage to make a little bit money faster, but again, you should do anything that you can afford and just don't risk it all. Have things diversified and be able to spread your risk amongst different avenues. So like me, I didn't listen to my own advice. These are things that there are things you just know. There's just certain things in life that you probably shouldn't do. People tell you, elders tell you, your mom, your brother, your sister, whoever tells you, but you still do it because you think, it's not gonna happen to me, or you think that you're smart enough to, just to not have it happen to you. But there are a lot of cautionary tales, and they have different examples in life for this reason. And now I'm one of them. I've had people comment on my last video, and check out the last video because I talk about what happened in more detail. But now I'm just pretty much talking about what I would do now and what I think you guys should do. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, so you have to do your own research and do whatever is best for you. But I would say if you're a similar person like me and you want to be rich, you want to be successful, you have to mitigate and manage your greed, because I know a lot of us probably never experienced a certain amount of money before. And so when you get a certain amount of money, you want to grow it, or you want to keep it, or you want more of it. But that's where the greed aspect comes in, and it causes us to lose it all. And it's better to have, you know what I'm saying? It's better to have a low amount or a decent amount of money than to try to strive for like too much that is risking it all. You know what I'm saying? If you can have that money in a way that's not going to risk everything else, then fine, make that decision, make that choice. Obviously, it's simple. But if it's going to make you have risk, if it's making you where you have to open up the app every day, or where you're like thinking like, oh, should I do this, this, and that, and you're making all these multiple moves and mechanical moves, it's probably not a good idea. You should just get into a system. I'm getting into a system where all I have to do is follow the system. Just let the money come out of my checking account. I don't even think about it. It's automatically going to my investment, and then boom. You know, if I need to leverage a little bit, if I want to practice or something, do it low. You know, do it low and slow until you have so much disposable income that it's just like, it's just play money. But if it's your whole life savings, like it kind of was for me, or I know other people, they probably invested hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars, and it's not to cope. It's not to cope and be like, oh, I don't know. Coping is really like not acknowledging the problem. We are acknowledging the problem and making a change. So just acknowledge what happened and move on, and understand that this is not the only opportunity that you probably have in life, and that there'll be more opportunities in life. So I'm going to keep this video short and just pretty much tell you just to keep focusing on a system, on something that is routine, boring, nothing too flashy, nothing with too many moves that make you have to think and open up an app every day. Anyways, you guys, my name is Sun Yonatan. This is Why Not Money. Subscribe to this channel and see more raw videos like this, and see my journey and see us grow from 10K, 100K, 1,000 subscribers, and dollars. So I see you guys next time. Peace.